Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the PT on Ice Daily Show. My name is Guillermo Contreras. I'm a physical therapist in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I'm also a teaching assistant for the clinical management of the fitness athlete, as well as modern management of the older adult courses here for the Institute of Clinical Excellence. This morning we are discussing a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a little while now, and it is the topic of creatine or creatine supplementation. A lot of times I get various questions about supplements and what should we be taking, what can we take, what's appropriate to take. And so I want to jump on this topic today and go over one of the most well-known supplements out there, which is creatine or creatine monohydrate or creatine phosphate or creatine kinase. A lot of different names out there in the supplement world. Also want to apologize for the quick jump in the time. Normally, this would be on at this time on Mondays with me because I have to be in the clinic by 8 a.m. Accidentally said 7:30 in the announcement or 8:30 in the announcement, so I apologize for anyone who was anticipating 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, and now I'm on at 8 a.m. Eastern time. With that said, quick, want to make some announcements. The last few courses of 2020 coming up for PT on Ice, or not PT on Ice, for the Institute of Clinical Excellence. This coming weekend, we have Total Spine coming to my neck of the woods here in Milwaukee, November 22nd and 21st, 22nd, as well as Lumbar Spine is going to be in New York. That's this coming up weekend as well. If you're looking to do Fitness Athlete Live, that's going to be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on December 5th and 6th. So if you haven't signed up for that one and you want to get it in before the end of the year, make sure you jump on our website and sign up for that one. And then Lumbar Spine Management will also be in Tennessee on December 5th and 6th. So any of those live courses will remain on the schedule for us as far as live courses. So make sure you jump on ptonice.com and sign up for any of those. If you're looking to take any online courses, we are all done with new courses in 2020 as far as the online courses. But starting that second week in January, I believe, we hit the ground running with MMOA, with Fitness Athlete Essential Foundations, with Fitness Athlete Advanced Concepts. You name it, there's a lot starting up in 2021. So if you've been waiting and kind of are eager, as soon as the holidays are over, you have your opportunity to jump into any of those courses if you want to look at taking any of them coming up. So diving into the topic at hand, quick, I'm just going to throw it out there. The disclaimer, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, I am not someone who did a bachelor's in anything like that. I'm not telling you need to take this supplement or that you should be telling people to take this supplement. I'm simply just sharing details and information from evidence and research that we know about. The one thing I am going to say is that if you are a physical therapist and you work with people, which most of us are and do, we should be having that conversation about nutrition at some level, right? We know that nutrition is a key factor in recovering from injury, in healing from surgery. We also know that it's very beneficial in reduction of future injury when we can reduce inflammatory responses and kind of have the body in a better place to heal and to perform. So that's why it's really important to have those conversations, but not necessarily dive too deep. And if that's something you're not super comfortable with, I can't highly recommend enough, or I can't recommend enough, going into our online courses, scrolling to the bottom to the online resources and checking out Exercise Physiology Redux. It's a 6-hour online lecture series that jumps into nutrition and the benefits it can have for you as it relates to physical therapy practice and performance. So check that out if you're someone who's kind of nervous and not sure about how to even broach the subject or start it off. Jump on the website, download that, sign up for that, get that, and you'll be able to learn a lot more about that as well as exercise prescription and things like that. So it's a great course to check out if you're not sure. So let's start out with what is creatine. So creatine at its most base level is just a derivative of amino acids. It's produced by the kidneys, the liver, the pancreas. We can naturally produce 1 to 2 grams a day. So it's not something super foreign that you're just kind of pumping into your body if you choose to take it. It's absorbed when we eat meat. It's absorbed when you supplement with creatine, which most individuals, that's how you know of creatine. When you take that powder and you put it in a drink, or you drink it in some sort of concoction, or some people take a pill. But it's not anything super foreign. Our body actually makes it naturally. We produce it naturally. And it's excreted through our urine pretty easily if there's too much in there, for the most part, healthy individuals, right? And it's also one of the most researched supplements out there. I think behind caffeine, it is the most researched. If you go on just PubMed and you type in creatine and you look back 50 years, there's close to 60,000 studies on creatine, or creatine in some form were used in it. So that's over 10,000 studies a decade, which is crazy. If you just go back over the last 10 years, there's close to 20,000. I think there's like 17,000 studies that use creatine in some form in their research. So it's not some completely foreign substance that nobody knows anything about, that it's all new to the scene, that people don't know about it. Go back almost 20 years, when I was in high school, there were guys taking creatine and being told they were on steroids and all this stuff. And we know now that it's nowhere near what anabolic steroids and things are. So it's something that's very well studied, very well known. The side effects are very minimal. Usually it's like a GI issue, if anything, and you don't agree with it. And if you don't agree with it, you just don't take it, or you don't take it, right? So we know a lot about it. It has a lot of benefits, though. Benefits span all over the place, right? From performance, from being able to sprint harder, to lift more weights, to do one more rep or one more set. As far as in the fitness world or strength training world, it helps with building lean muscle mass, and whether that's supporting the ability to do more in the gym or train harder, it in some way helps in building lean muscle mass, as well as reducing body fat. And again, are those secondary effects of what the primary effects are? Probably, but still, those are the effects it can have on it. It helps with power, helps with speed, helps with somewhat with endurance. And what evidence isn't super strong, but there are some who believe that it actually does have possible neurological effects too, so brain function, and some way can affect and help with that as well. So with all that said, why am I talking about creatine supplementation, and why am I saying it's not just for bodybuilders or fitness athletes or that anymore? Because believe it or not, a lot of the research that we see out there is using creatine and all its derivatives, so the phosphate, the kinase, whatever you want to call it, or however you want to find it, are being done on older adults and the general population. You're not seeing creatine anymore. Like back when it first came out and first started making its way around, it was used a lot more with athletic population. They want to research that. But we're seeing it much, much more in the older population, the older adult, and the benefits in there are actually really good. I have two studies right in front of me. One is the additive effects of creatine supplementation and exercise training on an aging population, and this one is a systematic review of randomized controlled trials. And the second study is muscular atrophy and sarcopenia in the elderly. Is there a role for creatine supplementation? So both of these studies looked at older adults, older individuals. One is a systematic review, so it looked at a lot of research with older adults. And the second one looked at a group of older adults that were given creatine supplementation in addition to resistance training or high-intensity interval training, or some sort of training modality for them as well. And so I'm just going to read straight through the effects that it had, and kind of come back and dive back into it. And I'll put both of these studies in the comments below, so you can look at them yourselves. But the first one, the additive effects of creatine supplementation, exercise training in aging population, systematic review. So this one, the systematic review suggests that the beneficial effects of creatine supplementation on upper and lower body strength, functional capacity, lean mass, and potential regional bone mineral density of the femur require continuous low daily dose of creatine combined with moderate resistance training for at least 12 weeks. That study also stated that for the bone mineral density effects that take effect, you have to continuously do or take creatine for about a year before any effect takes place. With that, what we see is about a year of resistance training with creatine monohydrate. Is it truly the creatine making a difference, or is it that the resistance training was able to build more bone mineral density? Not 100% sure. I think they need to look a little bit more into that, because there's a good chance that they both took effect in there. But what they did see for the most part is creatine monohydrate is safe. Like more than anything else, they discovered, okay, it is safe for older adults to use, especially those who are dealing with weakness, with decreased muscle mass. It's safe for them to use. And not only that, in conjunction with moderate to high intensity exercise in this aging population, it is able to notably improve musculoskeletal health, and it's able to help them almost recover a little bit too. So when we look at the second study, muscular atrophy and sarcopenia in the elderly, is there a role for creatine supplementation? They came to the study, and it said that, and again, this is for me like the take home of creatine supplementation with the older adults, is that studies conducted in older adults show little benefit of creatine supplementation alone in muscle function or mass. However, in contrast, creatine supplementation as an adjunct to exercise training seems to augment the muscle adaptive response to the training stimulus, potentially through increasing for higher capacity for higher intensity exercise and or by enhancing post-exercise recovery and adaptation. As such, creatine may be an effective dietary strategy to combat age-related muscle atrophy and sarcopenia when used to complement the benefits of exercise training. So, all that. So what? Right? All that to say is, like, if you're hearing me say those things, you're probably like, okay, so the important thing is exercise. Yes, right? The most important thing is that we be fitness forward, that we use resistance load, we use all these principles to help our patients and anyone we work with get stronger, be fitter, be healthier, live longer, healthier lives, and be more functionally strong, be more independent throughout their lifetimes. But the one take home here is, again, you have different populations, right? You're working with younger athletes, you're working with middle-aged men, middle-aged women, older adults, everything like that. A lot of your younger population, they might be a little bit more bought into resistance training because they can recover quicker. They can exercise, be a little sore, and be fine. The older adult, a lot of times, if they've been a little deconditioned, they haven't done a lot, you first introduce exercise to them and they're very sore for multiple days and they don't enjoy it, or they gas out, they get very fatigued very quickly, and it's very hard for them to really want to be more bought in, to do more. What if there's a way to give them a boost, to help them in some way do a little bit more, tolerate a little bit more, recover a little quicker from that bout of exercise you do with them in the clinic or in the gym, wherever you are, and that helps them to be a little bit more bought in, to be like, oh, you know what, I did the same way I did last time, but my muscles feel a little bit better. I don't feel as sore, or I recovered a little quicker, or I feel like I have more energy. I was able to do a little bit more. And what does doing a little bit more allow them to reap the benefits of getting stronger, of feeling more functionally independent, of being able to do day-to-day tasks with less fatigue because they are stronger, because their capacity for the demands of their lives is much higher and they can do more. All right, and not or. Like that is the main message, and not or. Like, yes, resistance training, we always want to do that. Supplementation, do we have to? No. But can we? Yes. Is it safe to use? Yes. Then why wouldn't we at least have that conversation, broach the subject of, have you looked into these supplements? You can get a a 2-pound bag of creatine for $20 that can last you 6 months. And you don't need anything fancy. Creatine monohydrate is all it takes. You don't need anything fancy. It's a cheap supplement, easy to get to, easy to mix into water, juice, drink. I mean, I wouldn't mix it into water. It would taste chalky and awful. But you can mix it into something to take away that flavor and reap the benefits of it, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting at, right? And not or. Use fitness forward approach, which is what we preach about so much in ICE. Fitness forward approach. Get people under load to reduce their pain, to improve their ability to tolerate load and task and activities, to maintain functional independence throughout their lifetime. And can we find a way to help those who maybe struggle to recover, to struggle to find the energy, or really find difficulty with exercise, with load, with resistance training? Can we give them a little bit of a boost in some way? And creatine can be that way. Again, this is not me saying you need to be giving this to your patients. You should be giving this to your patients. You should be telling them to take it. Everyone should be taking it around the world. But it's something that you should at least be aware of. You should do your own research, get an idea of how it works. Maybe you try it out for yourself. It's 5 grams a day, and it's a scoop here. You drink it with whatever. You can take it as a pill form. Like, there's so many ways to do it, but try it for yourself and see how it affects your own training, your own fitness, your own whatever functional modality you use. See how it feels for you, and that way you have a way to have that conversation with patients as well. So hopefully that was useful. That was something that you hadn't thought of before, or even if supplements in general are just like a taboo topic. Hopefully that helps kind of unveil some things, make you a little bit more aware of what's out there. Again, one of the most researched supplements out there ever. I think overall, if you go back like 100 years, there's like close to 70, 80,000 studies with creatine in it. So it's not something that is foreign, that's unknown. Try it for yourself, see how it feels, talk to your patients, have those good conversations. And again, remember, the most important thing is that we are fitness forward and psychologically informed. So note what you're doing, why you're doing it. And that's all I got for you today, gang. Have a wonderful Monday. Have a wonderful week. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.